Hey y'all, Bill Quirk with the Defensive Training Group and ShootGTR back for another segment of my everyday carry stuff. And this isn't going to be really my everyday carry because this is going to be carbine and shotgun. But going along with that theme of the gear that I actually use, in this case for training and teaching and whatnot, I thought you might find it interesting for me to go through my specific setups and explain the why behind the different gear that's on these things. So the first one we'll talk about is my carbine. And this one is near and dear to me. This is my old duty carbine. It is a registered SBR. And this particular gun in various configurations has gone through, has seen a lot with me. It started out, it is a law enforcement military restricted lower. I got this back in around 1997 when the first assault weapons ban was still in effect. And it has seen multiple configurations over the years. Originally, it was a 16-inch barreled M4, so it's a Colt M4 LE. It's actually a Colt, and it is an M4 variant. It had the step barrel and all that stuff. I shot that barrel out, replaced it, made it an SBR, and replaced it with an 11.5-inch upper from another company. Shot that barrel out, and this is its third iteration. This weapon has got, I'd have to go back and look for an actual count, but well over between 50 and 75,000 rounds, so somewhere in that ballpark, I would imagine. Like I said, I've shot out 3 barrels, which usually, or shot out 2 barrels rather, which usually about 20,000 rounds. And then this one's still going strong. This is a Noveske 11.5-inch stainless barrel that you see inside the rail down here. Anyway, so talking about the gun itself. The only thing that's really original on this is the lower. The lower is the same Colt lower that I started with back in the late 90s. And it has been enhanced though quite a bit. So I'm running a Magpul K grip, which I do like. This is the K2 that's got that little divot there. Lets my hand get in nice and deep. It just feels good to me. It's a bit more vertical, and I'm not a big fan of the A2 grip. So this is the grip that I run in almost all of my carbines. Standard buffer tube with a Magpul CTR Stock, and this is a mil-spec version with their enhanced pad, so a little bit more extension there, a little bit more cushion. Not that the 5.56 really needs that, but you know, I like having it. This is the trigger guard here is from Knights. That's just something that I was given and I put on there. Magpul makes a good one as well, several companies do. Because this is a high round count gun, when I replaced the trigger, and this is a Geissele SSA-E. Now this lower is what you call a large pen. So it's something that Colt made for a while, and the diameter of the trigger pins is a little bit different. So it requires a certain kind of trigger. A regular mil-spec trigger, the pins are going to be a different size, so it's not going to work in this. So I had to get a large pin trigger setup from Geissele. They still make them. And this is the SSA-E. Because it is a high round count gun, I've got the anti-walk pins here that just have a bar with set screws to keep them from walking back and forth, because the aluminum does wear over the years with that really high round count. I'm running a Battle Arms Development Selector, and I like that. And as a lefty, it's set up with the larger tab set up for my left thumb, and the smaller tab for ambidextrous set up on the left side, which would be for my right thumb. I'm running a Geissele Maritime latch, the bolt release, which helps me as a lefty get in here, and I can lock my bolt open, and I can get up there and release the bolt as well using just my index finger. And I have a Troy ambidextrous magazine release as well, right there, which allows me, as I said, as a lefty, to more easily manipulate the weapon. On the other side, it's got the standard mag button there, just like you'd find on any regular M4. Magpul ASAP single point sling attachment plate here, and that about covers the lower assembly. I'm running a standard, let's see, in this one I have different configurations for different rifles. On the SBR, I'm running an H buffer with a Wolf plus power return spring. And that gives me a good reliability both with the short barrel and also when I'm running suppressed, and we'll talk more about running suppressed in a little bit. Okay, so going into the upper now, we've got an 11.5-inch barrel. Like I said, it is a Noveske barrel. The muzzle device that I'm using right now is the Nox from Sons of Liberty Gunworks. And this is a comp plus flash hider. And it's also an interface for my Dead Air Sandman K suppressor. So I can run that on here. I don't have that out here right now, but I do run this gun suppressed quite a bit. The rail system is an M-LOK from Troy, and it's one of their slimmer versions. So I've got the pick rail on top, and then the other positions are all set up for M-LOK. This is a Emissary Development handbrake, and I kind of like this. This is something that's come out in the past year or so, I guess, and they're very popular. I'm not a big fan of the big broom handle vertical foregrips and whatnot. Even when I run some kind of stubby vertical foregrip, I still use it basically as a hand stop, and I try to get my support hand nice and high on the gun, which helps me control it and whatnot. Okay, so I've got some rail scale covers here and here just to give me a bit more purchase. And then down here, these are from Bravo Company, and again, they're just M-LOK panels that snap into those slots there just to give me a little bit of heat protection and a little bit more grippiness. It's not the metal that gets kind of slippery sometimes. This is a Magpul RSA, which is a sling adapter, and I'll show you how I use that in a little bit. And then when we get to the some of the technology that's up here, I'm running both a white light as well as a visible and IR laser setup. And this is a MAWL, which is just simply fantastic. We're going to start running some NVG stuff later this fall, some seminars and workshops and whatnot, and we'll do some video and you'll get to see this in operation. But this is simply a phenomenal piece of equipment. Like I said, it gives you both a visible laser, which is not something that I use a whole lot, but then also the IR laser and IR illuminator, which are things that you'll use under night vision. And then the white light, any defensive tool, in my opinion, has got to have a white light on it to positively identify your target so that you can make a conscious decision as to whether or not you're going to destroy it. And the white light, the MAWL, the switches are up here. And then for the white light, I'm running a Unity Tactical hot button, which is up here at a 45 degree, and that's set up for my hand to run just like that. So I can just press that very easily. And that is a clicky, that's on off type of thing, okay? So going back, now we get down to the optics and the mounts here and whatnot. And because this is my NVG gun, I elected to go with a slightly taller mount. And this is the Unity Tactical Fast Mount, which is about a 2.26 height over bore, as opposed to a 1.93 or a 1.5 or something else you might find in other circumstances. Because I am running the laser, I'm not running backup irons on this particular weapon. I just don't think that they're necessary because I do have backup sighting systems on the weapon because I got the laser. Ordinarily, for any defensive tool, I would insist on having some sort of backup sighting system. And in this case, I'm not running irons because I do have the backup within the laser. Or you might even say that this is the primary under NVGs, and this is the backup. But this is a bit higher. And I like these in general. I like a taller mount if I'm talking about a platform that's going to be used for closer in kind of stuff, because a taller mount allows me to stay a bit more erect and keep my head a bit more vertical, a bit more up and down. I'm not driving my cheek into the stock trying to get that really good cheek weld in order to drop my eye down to the optic line. Having a taller height over bore, a taller mount, gives me the ability to keep myself a bit more erect, and I can see better, maintain better situational awareness, stuff like that. Behind it, I've got a Aimpoint 3-power magnifier. So this optic is an Aimpoint T1 Micro that I've had for years and years. And then it's paired up with the Aimpoint 3X magnifier and a Unity Tactical flip to center. So a lot of your mounts flip to the side, which they work really well, but they do add a bit of side-to-side bulk or depth when the magnifier is stowed. In this case, this flips down straight to center and maintains nice contour on both sides. There's nothing getting in the way of me running my charging handle or anything along those lines. The downside is it does further negate the ability to use any kind of backup iron, because this flips down and it's going to occlude any iron sights that you may have up here. I could run some kind of offset system, but as I said earlier, I just don't think it's necessary on this particular weapon system. I'm not using this for real anymore. This is a teaching device. Finally, we get down to the charging handle, and I'm running a Radian Pull my magazine out here. Running a Radian Raptor, and this is the SD version, which is ported. If you see down in here, you can start to see them, some ports that are designed to bleed off some of that gas when you're running suppressed to make it a little bit more comfortable for the shooter. You're not getting as much blowback right in your face. That helps bleed that off a little bit. The bolt carrier that I'm running is from Bootleg Arms, and it is a suppressor capable adjustable bolt carrier. So you see in here, there's a screw that we can adjust for suppressed and unsuppressed fire. And I really haven't found with this particular setup and my dead air K-can the need to do that. I've run this suppressed in class with standard 55 grain blaster ammo and have not had any problems in the ordinary gas settings running this thing for an extended time, suppressed or unsuppressed. But it does give you, if you find that the gun's getting dirty and it's starting to get finicky, this does give you the ability to make some adjustments and adjust that gas flow so that you get better cyclic operation. The other way you can do that is through an adjustable gas block. I prefer this system just because I don't like multiple things that I'm trying to adjust and tweak. This is just one thing in my bolt carrier that is easy for me to take out and put another bolt carrier in, and I'm not worried about something else that may slip or whatever the case may be. So that is my current primary teaching carbine setup. Like I said, this thing has seen a lot of miles with me, a lot of bad guys, and has proven itself to be a worthy companion. It's lasted me many, many years, and hopefully will last me many, many more. As always, if you have any questions, please leave a comment below. Give us a like, give us a share, and y'all stay safe.